Hey there, this is a review for a brand new pair of Klein 9-inch Lineman's pliers, high leverage, part number D2139, which you can get at your Home Depot. Now, it's a brand new pair of pliers, and so I guess there's only so much you can say about that. And they're Lineman's pliers. There's only so much you can say about that. So I had to think about how can I actually make a relevant review that people would find at least remotely useful. And my solution was to compare them to another pair of Klein 9-inch high leverage Lineman's pliers. Now, this isn't just any pair of Klein Lineman's pliers. This pair belonged to my great uncle, who was an industrial electrician. In fact, this is the box that they came in. He didn't keep the box for any of his other tools, so I guess this was a pretty special pair of pliers to him, and they were his go-to pair of pliers. These were the only 9-inch high leverage pliers he owned, and in an industrial setting, he got daily use out of these for over 40 years. And you can just see, look at that cutting edge. I mean, earlier it was just to make sure I could do it for the purposes of this video. I was cutting paper with these things. Let's see. I can't, it's going to actually overlap the paper, but I think you'll see. Yeah, did you hear that? That was a cut, and you can see it right there. There are some other cuts. Yeah, I mean, that is a razor sharp edge right there, and that's with a 60-year-old pair of Lineman's pliers that were used on a daily basis for over 40 years. Now, in terms of quality and feel, I mean, these things, they feel about the same. The dimensions are pretty much identical. I'm not sure if these are, I didn't measure these. They might be slightly narrower here, but you'll actually see why. It was a different machining process they used. As you can see, there were smooth transitions there. But basically the same, the profile is the same. Hasn't changed. Here, rather than those smooth transitions, they kind of have a more angular, transition to them. But they're basically remain unchanged in 60 years. Back then they were known as M.K. Klein and Sons. Today they're known as, let's see if I can get that. There we go, Klein Tools. And they still have that cool little graphic of the electrician climbing the pole, the pole and working on the line there. M.K. Klein and Sons, Chicago, USA. Klein Tools, made in USA. And the quality, as far as I can tell, has not diminished. Again, just some slight differences in the design cues. But take a look at these guys. I mean, that is the same plier, the same manufacturing process, outside of slight, variations in the finish. And the finish is top notch. I mean, look at that joint. It's just seamless. Everything is lined up. Both pairs. And in terms of how they hold up over time, well, you saw them cut a piece of paper, and they'll cut much thicker things than that. And the teeth, the diamond cut on the teeth is still just fantastic. And I've been using these things not nearly as hard as my great uncle, but I've been using these things regularly for about 5 years, and they really haven't shown any signs of wear or fatigue. And I have no doubt that they're going to serve someone else when I'm done with them. They're just incredibly well made. And as far as I can tell, I mean, look at it for yourselves. As far as I can tell, you know, it's like a pair of Channel Locks. Nothing has really changed. Man, that's smooth. These are actually, they actually come out a little bit looser than, you know, than that pair has ever been. At least since I've been using it. But yeah, you can see the have a look at the diamond teeth on here, if I can get it. Let's see if we can get the light on there. Yeah, see that? It's perfect. It's just perfect. There's no flaws. I mean, any tradesman that I've ever spoken to in the electrical trades that uses Klein tools, you know, it's pretty much, I haven't heard much variance in this. I mean, you know, people prefer channel locks, but when it comes to lineman's pliers, you know, and diagonal cutters, and in my other video with the Klein diagonal cutters, and those things went through a nail like butter. When it comes to lineman's pliers and diagonal cutters, let's see, here they are, the pair I just reviewed. Klein is pretty hard to beat. You know, if I'm going to use this pair and save, you know, basically save this pair, and if I feel differently about, you know, the quality, it's in 6 months I'll do a brand new review and replace the review that I'm going to be submitting to Home Depot. Replace this review, but I really, I mean, there's no difference. You know, the quality is still there. They're a pair of Klein lineman's pliers, just like these are a pair of MK Klein and Sons lineman pliers, and they're incredibly well made. You know, they're the nicest lineman's pliers I own, and that I've experienced. So I don't know what more, you know, you can say. I mean, most people already know what I'm saying here. I just had to think of a way to make a relevant video, and I couldn't think of any other way to review a brand new pair of pliers than to compare them, how they've changed over time. As you can only, you know, you can easily imagine what a review would look like with a great many tools that are available today compared to their, you know, their predecessors, which were supposed to be the same tool, and how the manufacturing process, the quality control, the country of origin, all those things have changed. And, you know, with a company like Channel Lock or Klein, you know what you're getting. It hasn't changed. It's the same formula. You know, like a Coca-Cola. When you open a can of Coke, you know what it's going to taste like, and if you like the taste, you're going to be satisfied. Well, if you've ever owned a pair of Klein pliers, I would be willing to wager with you that picking up a brand new pair of Klein pliers, you're going to get that same feeling, and you're not going to be disappointed. The quality is, you know, is still there. And basically that's all I've got for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one.